are just 26 days away from the election. That's less than one menstrual cycle, according to the Period app J.D. Vance is secretly tracking you with. So, with less than a month to go, both campaigns are going all out. Starting with Democratic nominee Kamala Harris, who's been everywhere recently. News shows, daytime talk shows, satellite radio, podcasts, your kid's piano recital. She applauded, but seriously, chopsticks? I mean, you could do better, Arlo. And this media blitz is not a moment too soon, because voters are looking for change. And Kamala needs to articulate why she's the candidate of change. She's had plenty of time to think about it, so let's see her answer.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Not a thing is coming into your mind? You really are continuing the Biden legacy. Come on, Madam VP. This is an opportunity to differentiate yourself from an unpopular administration. Surely you would do something different.
Listen, I plan on having a Republican in my cabinet.
I got a list.
Yes, right. You asked me what's the difference between Joe Biden and me. Well, that will be one of the differences. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet.
Okay. Everything Joe Biden did, plus Republicans. Sneaky move, you know, appealing to Republicans by promising to do a diversity hire, you know? Which they famously love that. Now that she said that, I'm sure she's set. She won't go too far in trying to appeal to conservatives.
I have a Glock.
Okay. Easy, Madam Vice President. I have a family, okay? You know, I guess in these times, you do have to reach out to people who wouldn't be your natural allies. And obviously, she gets that.
You have my sword. And you have my bow.
And my axe.
I have a Glock.
No. That was very dumb. But as Kamala reaches out to Republicans, her Republican opponent, Donald Trump, has been sitting down for podcast interviews, which are great because there's more of a freewheeling conversation there that allows him to really dig deep into the issues.
I'm good with names, you know.
You are.
You're very good.
You are.
I mean, Pocahontas. Yeah. We have names.
What about? And there was Tampon Tim was good. What about?
The problem with Tampon Tim, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
In other words,
it's a mouthful.
But when you put the names together, it's a little. You got to be able to pume.
You know, it's nice to see how reflective Trump has become in his old age. You know? Looking back on everything, I wonder, did Tampon Tim have enough pew? Meanwhile, the Trump campaign has brought out a very special surrogate, Melania Trump, former First Lady, and the only Slovenian you can name off the top of your head. Well, we don't see a lot of Melania, but she's also been on a media tour this week. Fox News, social media, your kid's piano recital. Arlo, you are not be best. Now, obviously, she's out there because she's a supportive wife who believes in her husband's America first. I'm with you. She has a book to sell. You know, people make a lot of jokes about this marriage, but when I look at their shared love of exploiting our political system to sell shit for personal profit, I just see two soulmates. Now, we actually have a copy here. Yeah, this is it. This is her book. I want to read you a quick passage just to give you a feel for it. This is real. Page 78 from right after he won the 2016 election. As Donald prepared to go down to his office on Wednesday morning, he and I had a private moment. Congratulations, I said. What an achievement. All those other people. And you won. You're the President of the United States of America. And you're the First Lady, he said. Good luck. I gotta wipe away a tear on that one. That is a heartwarming moment that definitely wasn't created by ChatGPT. Turns out writing is hard when you don't have Michelle Obama to plagiarize from. It is hard. It's very difficult. Very difficult. And yesterday, Melania paid a visit to her husband's other true love, Fox News, where she revealed an interesting personal tidbit about her husband.
Would you have married Donald Trump if you had a crystal ball that said he would be president?
That's a interesting question.
By the way, does he ever sleep?
He doesn't sleep much. He does, of course.
Does he wear
needs to.
pajamas?
No.
No? What does he wear when he sleeps, Melania?
Well, one of the things she...
Oh. No pajamas, huh? That's a steamy image. I can just imagine that scene. Trump under the covers, dressed only in his long red tie. Melania says, "You are naked in bed." And he says, "And you are the first lady. Good luck." Wow. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. Pretty sexy stuff. But maybe hearing about Donald Trump's bedtime routine from Melania doesn't get your engines revving. Fortunately, the campaign also brought out someone for the ladies.
Former senior advisor to President Trump, Stephen Miller, is here. We're getting a lot of texts from women about Miller and his appearances and his appearance. Our audience at primetime believes you're some sort of sexual matador.
Ooh. Stephen Miller is a sexual matador. Is that because he's literally a walking red flag? Fox, I gotta say, I'm worried about you. You already had to pay $780 million for lying to your audience, but this could be the one that bankrupts you. I mean, come on. I do believe Stephen Miller is a real lady killer, but more so in a check the basement kind of way. You know what? I'll bite. What does make Stephen Miller such catnip for the females?
If you're a young man who's looking to impress ladies, the best thing you can do is to wear your Trump support on your sleeve. Show that you are a real man. Show that you are not a beta.
Ooh, he's so alpha he doesn't even know how to say beta. Oh. Wow. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That sound you just heard was thousands of southern borders instantly shutting down. I'm talking about, you know what I'm. You get that? You get that? But do you hear that, men? Do you listen to Stephen Miller? Don't be a beta cuck and vote for Kamala Harris. Come out to this sweet rally where a guy double jerks to the YMCA, you know? Now. Apparently it does get people going. Now maybe you're thinking, Jordan, you started the show talking about the election, and now it seems to be a lot of sex stuff. Well, first of all, Mom, I've tried to explain how the show works many times. But also, sexuality is a campaign issue this year. Project 2025 calls for banning pornography, and some other big news from the last few days is that the porn industry is making their own campaign ads against it.
They have started a Hands Off My Porn campaign, which includes video ads that roll before the porn does on adult video providing websites.
I'm Holly Randall, and I've been working in the adult industry for over 25 years. I need to address the threat of Project 2025.
Yes, my favorite porn category, informational PSA. But don't just go snickering, ooh, pornography. This is an issue of personal freedom. And these are the people who can speak to it most directly. So, let's hear more of these ads.
Before you get swept up believing that porn is misogynistic, maybe actually talk to the people who work in it. I don't see you guys out there crying about how men are exploited in porn. Have you seen those ball-crushing videos? Not my thing, but again, that's a choice made by consenting adults.
I will say, it's strangely comforting to know that there are things on the internet that even porn stars look at and go, man, what the f***? If you ask me, though, the big problem with these ads is that they're running them before the porn video starts. You really should run them after the porn videos when there's clarity of mind. That's when I write my holiday cards. Frankly, if you want to be truly effective, all you need to do is just show people what porn would look like under Project 2025.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think she wants you.
She is hardcore. We are in a shocking situation.